That might have been possibly the best week of football yet. We had so many games down to the wire. Uh, Teams coming from behind, late second scores, walk-off wins. I mean, I think we had a little bit of everything. No game seemed like it was really, looking back at the scores, really other than you could say the Jets and the Bears and probably the Dolphins, Texans. Those might have been the only two games where they really, even going back to Thanksgiving. I mean, we had the Bills and Lions. Man, that's just a fucking what a tough loss. Whatever curse the Lions have, dude, that's just brutal. They almost upset the Bills. They played their fucking hearts out. Um, I think Dan Campbell's doing a hell of a job with that team. I think they love playing for him. It shows in just kind of the resurgence they had out of nowhere. But we'll get into all that. I just think this was the best weekend of games. Hands down. And looking at the games on paper, you would not have thought it. I mean, you wouldn't have thought Jags Ravens was going to be close. Uh, I mean, really, the Packers were in that game, and I know it's the Packers, but the way you got to take it by the way they've been playing. I didn't think that I thought it could be a close game, but it was kind of shocking that the Browns got the win. Um, and really even, I guess you could say maybe that Panthers Broncos game because the Broncos are just, I don't know what's going on there, but I think it has to do more with the fact that it's that time of year. We're getting closer. Everything means everything. Every play means everything. And it all matters and everyone's trying to fucking get in and everyone's beating each other too. That's what's crazy. This is not a year where there's a solid clear cut favorites. I mean, even the favorites are kind of shaky. Even the Bills against the Lions, for example. So I mean, it's a lot of teams that you just keep coming back and you think they're out of it, and then they get a win. I mean, the Commanders just keep on going. Surprising me. It's just though everything matters right now. It's do or die. Everyone's trying to get in. They can see. I think the players can see the end. It's now in sight. Whereas the beginning of the season, you're not even thinking about. But it's there now. You're not thinking about it, but it's there. Um, so it's gonna start ratcheting up, and I think a lot from here on out. Most of these games are gonna be close for the most part, just because of everyone's trying to get into the dance. All it takes is a ticket to the dance, and magic stuff can happen after that. So, with that being said, we'll get into the games now. Sunday, the first one to me, Browns Bucks. When are we ever going to see are the Bucks ever going to click? Are they ever going to get it together? Because they're frustrating to watch for their offense is very frustrating, especially the way their defense. What their defense is capable of doing to teams and limiting teams. They could be a really good defense, but the way this offense can't sustain a drive, they can't put up touchdowns, they can't put up points, period. It's just points are hard to come by. Every Buccaneers game is a low scoring, just mucky game. It always goes down to that. I mean, their offense just cannot click. And we always say, what do we always say? It's Brady, don't count him out, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this might not be the same Brady. I don't know. Because he's got all the tools he could possibly want. Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Cameron Brate's no schmuck. Rashad White out of the backfield's been, he had a hell of a game this game, and a nice piece they've been adding. I mean, the run game he's solid in the run game as well. 64 yards on 14 carries. It's just, I don't know what the issue is. It's just Brady's not throwing picks. I mean, there's nothing alarming. When you look at the stats, you'd be like, oh, fuck. But, I mean, you watch the tape, and it's just like it's not there. Whatever the hell that it is, that Brady has, it's not there. And I know you can say, oh, we'll just wait till you get to the, it gets close to the end of the season and playoffs. He's got to fucking get to the playoffs. I mean, this is not just some walk in the park. They're 5-6. Somebody has to win the NFC South. And they're not going to have a winning record probably. Who knows? At this point, it may not. I don't know. But it's not like it's the old AFC East where he could have a bad season and still be the fucking number one team getting in easily. It's not those days. I mean, it's just a weak NFC South, but when you're playing bad and Atlanta's on the heels and the Saints, even though they lost, they're not that bad. It's not like they're 5 games back here. You know what I mean? Everyone is right there, and you're not consistently winning as the number 1 seed, so you're no threat to nobody. If they lose, it's what's going to matter is these games against each other. Monday night against the preview to Monday night here next week. It's Bucs Saints. That's huge. Basically, whoever wins that game is going to be like if the Saints win that game, they got a chance. They lose that game, you might as well write them off. That's just being honest. I know you can't. Anything can happen, and they're still not going to be that far back if they do lose. But nah, I think they'll have a real shot if they can win, especially for a morality factor. They're going to believe they can win if they can do something. But if they lose that game, you're going to see guys packing it in. I'm not that they would be really a factor, but they could still get in. It's all it takes is to get in. So I don't know though, but the Bucs offense, their defense is ready to win. They play great. They limit a lot of teams to these low score. They keep them in these games, and right now they're just waiting for that offense to click, and it's now wrapping up week 12, and it's the same old song and dance for Brady. So I don't know. Browns though do a nice job. Brissett, his last game, gets the win. If you're gonna do it, go out, give it your all. You kind of wonder, figured he might empty the tank, if you will. If it's going to be his last game, Deshaun Watson's going to have the rest of the season. Might as well go out on that note and take out Brady. Take out the fucking best, and your predecessor, the guy that you were behind. These two know about each other from New England, but it's just a game they shouldn't have been in at all. It's a game they should not have been in, and they found a way. They stuck with it. Somebody was going to win this game. You don't want to see the ties. The ties are terrible. No one needs that. But I wish they would. They need to get rid of. I was thinking about, oh my God, it's going to be terrible if they tie, because then it's just, why do they not get rid of the ties? Make somebody fucking win. You're going to do it in the postseason anyways. Why do we need to sit here and have a fucking tie in the regular season just because we can't spare another fucking, give somebody a fucking win. Make them, that if you can't win in that first period, they can put them on the goal line. Put them in within 5 yards. How many plays does it take the team to score? Go like that or something. Do something. Do what college would do. Now you want to mimic college. The game takes from the college game so much. Modernize something like that, and not have fucking overtimes and ties, overtime ties. I mean, that's stupid in the regular season. But didn't happen. Luckily, Browns got the win. The Bucs just still trying to figure shit out, but they will remain in first with Atlanta losing to the Washington Commanders. This was a heartbreaker for me. I'm not going to lie. This was a heartbreaker to watch. You were right there, second and goal. Doing so well. Getting down there. And what a play, though, by Kendall Fuller. I mean, I couldn't believe watching. I was like, there's no way he got his arm underneath that ball. There's just no fucking way. It's going to be one of those where it would have looked like a good play where it hits, it hits the ground first and then it goes right into his arm or something. It's like, oh, okay, that's how he got it. But no, he just made a hell of a fucking play. And you got to tip your cap, That's so huge. That can change the game. Those D linemen getting up. If you can't get the pressure, if you can't get to the quarterback, you got a second chance basically at making a play by jumping up and getting your mitts up there, timing it just right. I mean, that's a skill too, because if it was that easy, all these guys would do it. It's more of a skill. I mean, sometimes it is just luck. Guys stick their hand up there. Oh, hopefully I hit it. But a lot of guys can really time, like the ones that are really good at it have that timing. And sometimes you'll see them get like the TJ Watts, where they get the picks out of it, because it's just good timing. It's instincts. It's one thing to just stick your hand up there, but to really to time that to make a play is huge. And it just gives you a chance. If you can't get the pressure, it gives you an opportunity to still make a play. And they got it. I mean, and Mariota, as far as passing, had played clean up to that point. I mean, he played a really great game up until that point, passing-wise. Still, the offense, 13 points isn't going to get it done. That's got to be a point of emphasis. But this was a very quick game. This is one of the first games, one of the noon games that finished up first. A lot of running. Both these teams, Brian Robinson. It was almost, they kept talking about it in the broadcast. These two teams always just mirroring each other, they both want to do the same things, and they did. It showed. Both teams really like to run the ball. They're really good when they can run the ball. I love what Atlanta's doing with Algier. I love that kid. That kid's a fucking stud, dude. That kid is a stud. I mean, him and Patterson basically mirrored each other's production. Both 11 carries. Algier had 54. Patterson 52. I just love that they can keep those fresh legs. Then you got Mariota pitching in 49 yards on the ground. He does his thing on the ground still. Huntley, he only had the one carry, but I love when he comes in. I just love they keep these fresh legs, keep these guys going, and that's what allows you to just be able to run the ball all the time. You can't do that with, one guy. You go, okay, give him a break. Now another guy comes in that we pass to. That used to be the model, right? You used to have your big third down running back, like you're all just one guy, bell cow guy, right? And then you would have more of your receiving back. That was the model. You had your guy, your every down back, and your receiving back, and your third down guy, right? Now it's more of a lot of teams are going with let's just put a bunch of guys in there. Even with Nick Chubb, he's got his Kareem Hunt. Everyone's looking for that other guy. It's backfield by committee. Everyone likes these 1-2 punches because it works. You keep guys going. Hey, you're tired. All right, this guy's just as good as you, but the defense is getting gassed the whole time. If you can keep that, and it's a good way to work clock, maintain possessions, keep other opposing teams off the field. Running the ball has so many fucking benefits. I know it's fun to sit back and watch Mahomes do his fucking magic, or Lamar Jackson makes magic, Josh Allen, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I know that's awesome, and it is, but that running game is deadly. If you got it, it will fuck a team up. I mean, but Robinson had a great game, 105 yards. We had a hard time stopping him. Heineke's still doing his thing, man. I like this kid, Heineke. He just fucking gritty, tough dude. Just goes out, wants to get a fucking win. That's all he cares about, going out and getting a win by any means. So you got to give credit to them. They're fighting. They're in a tough division. They're fighting to get a spot just like Atlanta is. So, I mean, it's the same thing, but it's polar opposites. It's more of a trend for the NFC East. That's a tougher division. There's a lot of winning, a lot of losing in the NFC South, but both teams still have chances. Someone's got to get in, right? It's a little bit harder in the East, though. And as it stands, everyone's getting in. everyone's getting in because of how poorly the other divisions are playing. I mean, that's how damn good that division is. But nonetheless, Atlanta's just, when they don't beat themselves, right? When they don't beat themselves, just this can be said for any team, but specifically Atlanta, they have these issues, they have these tendencies where they fumble the ball, they're making, key mistakes. They got to get the passing game going a little more. It's got to be more consistent. You're not going to win these games. And Mariota's doing a good job keeping it clean, but a tough one at the end, though, man. I mean, it was just a hard-fought game, and at the end, it was decided by one really good play there. And I don't fault the decision to pass there. I know everyone's talking about how great the running game is. Why are we not running there? We pulled Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl. Yada yada yada. I don't mind it. I mean, it was there. I don't mind it. I don't mind the pass. You gotta expect teams are thinking that run. That's a tough inside. The goal line is tough against these Commanders just because that D line that front seven scary. I mean, Payne and Allen in the middle right there. Those two are beasts, man. Them two are beasts. So you're not just gonna simply just. It's not that easy. That's why everything that the yards earned on the ground, it was earned because those guys they control that line of scrimmage pretty well most days. But yeah, credit to the Commanders. They're just playing good football right now. I mean, they're just finding ways to win. That's all it's about. Atlanta still has a shot, but it's must win now. It's must win time for the Falcons. It just got a little bit harder because for playoff implications, that's going to mean something. Fighting if you have to fight for a spot on a wild card spot. Now that just made that route way harder. Now you're banking on winning the division. You want to win the division now. Obviously, that's always the goal, but if need be, wild card just got harder for the Falcons. The game I kind of talked about, I know I didn't put an episode out, but the game I kind of talked about, the Bengals-Titans, I thought this one was going to be a really good matchup, and it was. It was. What was the big shock to me, though, in this game is the way they stopped Derrick Henry. I mean, they shut him down in the run game. They absolutely shut him down, and I thought it was going to be the total opposite. Just because of the way the Bengals coming in, the run defense has been non-existent almost. They've been giving up. I think it was 116, 120, something in that range. Yards they're giving up. And I just thought Derrick Henry could come in and have himself a day and feast. And he did have a solid 69-yard run or screen pass where he fumbled it and they recovered it. That was good, which made him their leading receiver, which is bad if that's, But they could not get it going in the run game. I mean, it's not for a lack of trying either because, man, they gave it to him 17 times for 38 yards. He's averaging that's a 2.2 average. He's averaging right there. And Burrow and the Bengals find a way to they're not these flashy Bengals that a lot of people thought they were going to be. High scoring, thought they were going to, you thought it was going to be their defense is going to have to be the one that they rely on here, and the offense is going to put up a lot of points. It has not been the case. It just really hasn't right now. And, they trying to get no Jamar Chase makes it a little bit harder, but that's just one guy. They have a lot of great pieces. I don't know what it is that allow it. Just they seem to just put themselves in these positions that they make their drives harder. Penalties, turnovers, stuff like that. And Burrow, no picks, no fumbles, no turnovers this game. They did a hell of a job in that department, but they're not what we thought they were going to be. Everyone was so hyped up with them right now, but they're finding ways to win. In this season specifically, I mean, I don't know another season where a lot of teams everyone's just beating each other, man. So it's hard to come by. Everyone's been taken out of their element. Right now it seems like the Chiefs are the only ones that are just like they're on they look scared right now, but I mean everyone else is like the Ravens. This is another team that I'm just so confused by. the Baltimore Ravens, 28-27. They lose to the Jags in the last seconds. They had this game. They had this game. In And they just, the too many times they have the games where they're up and they're giving them away. Go back to the Dolphins, now the Jags. There was two other games that they've given up. That's how their losses have been, is them giving the leads. Was it the Chargers? They gave one up to. It's just how many times are we gonna? Why can you put these teams away? Why are we? They can't put good teams can put teams away. That's what makes them really good teams. And right now, that's what's holding the damn Ravens back. They can't finish nobody off. It's got to be frustrating for them, right? It's got to be. And Lamar Jackson after the game had that tweet. It was, it's getting to him. That frustration is getting to him. And he since deleted whatever. I'm not even gonna go into all that, but it's just I don't know where it's coming from. And credit Jacksonville not giving up. They went for the 2-point conversion. They went for the win and said we'll get the fuck out of here. See ya. So gotta give them credit, man. They just would not go away, wouldn't quit. And Trevor Lawrence. He's looking like he's getting there. This was a great game for him. This was a great game where he just was clicking. He put it all together. They lost ETN early in the game. Hasty comes in. The ground game really wasn't there for him. The Ravens kind of took that away. But the fact that they could pass on him like this is kind of shocking to me. Especially with the defense they have. They have a great D line. They just got Roquan to add into the mix. Tyus Bowser's great. Calais Campbell. You add in You already had Patrick Queen. You add in Roquan Smith to go with. You're healthy, so Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey on the outsides. I don't see. It's like where's your? Justin Houston's been doing some good things with them in situational spots, and it's just where is your issues? Why are your issues on defense? Giving up late scores, you can't stop the 2-point conversion. They couldn't. They couldn't stop nothing there at the end. This was a wild shootout in the end. And shout out Jacksonville, man. Duval getting it done. Sunshine finally putting it together. Trevor Lawrence is playing. If he can be consistent with it now, that's where he needs to take the steps. Next is consistency. If you're able to put it all together, can you do that multiple weeks in a row? Throughout your career, basically. That's how you build your career. That's where he's going to have to take his big next step. But as far as the Ravens go, I don't know. They want to be a serious contender in the playoffs here. They got to figure this thing out of why they can't maintain leads, why they keep giving up leads. This should be that. Shouldn't even be a problem with them the way their offense is. They're built to get leads and then just salt the clock away with that running game. They love to ground and pound. So that's what's so confusing me. How are you not putting teams away, up the way you are, but they just keep kicking field goals. That's their issue. You're not winning games kicking field goals. You're relying on Justin Tucker. I know he's the GOAT, but you're relying on him too much. Great teams don't settle for field goals. They get touchdowns. So Jacksonville's bend but don't break defense they put on a show. You got to give them credit for limiting the way they had, because the offense was, stalling a little bit, putting themselves in third downs a lot of times, unmanageable third downs sometimes. It's a problem with Jacksonville's offense. They can get up and down the field, but they hurt themselves and kind of beat themselves, as a young team usually does. But good teams you can't rely on your kicker that much, and he missed the one at the end, but It's Justin Tucker, man. I get it. Good teams got to get touchdowns. Good teams got to get touchdowns, not field goals. It's just simple as that. They got to find a way to put the ball in the end zone. And then this wouldn't even have been a close game. It shouldn't have been. Credit Jacksonville's defense. Foye Oluokun going crazy. 18 tackles. All over the place. It seems like that it's like, why? How are you not doing what you're supposed to be doing? And then the Dolphins Texans. This one was kind of interesting, just for the fact that Dolphins look great, right? They come out, they go crazy. Everything's going the wrong way for the Texans. They have the fumble, scoop and score. The interception by Mills early. Tua played great. He's looking great. Him and his weapons, Hill and Waddle, they go 5 and 6 catches respectively both for 85 yards. And Tua's dishing the rock to everybody. I mean, guys that I don't know if many people would know. This is Sheffield, Trent Sherfield. Other guy, he's not just it's not like he's just relying on these two guys. He's throwing the rock around every River Crawcraft. He's making shit happen to everybody. But he's got his 2 bell cow receivers, and they're playing great. Offensively, it was lights out early. But I give credit to the Houston Texans. They did not give up. I thought they kind of pulled Tua a little early, and it got close for no reason. And it got stopped finally because of a pick. I was wondering, is Tua going to have to come back in? Because you don't want to make that mistake of pulling him. Then you got to put him back in, and it just looks bad. But they're up 30-0 at half. They think but they don't score any more points after that. After they benched Tua, or not benched, sorry. After they took out Tua, thinking all right, let's let up. It got close there. And had it not been for that pick by Davis Mills, he threw one up, and then finally the Dolphins defense made a play and put the game away. But at the end there, they were kind of giving up some points, making it interesting. I thought, oh God, Tua's going to come back in now. It's just going to be bad look. But they got it done. Dolphins look good, man. I think they are the team that not a lot of people are talking about, taking serious right now, but just because, and I think that comes from them not being, we haven't seen them yet in the playoffs. We haven't seen them play a meaningful game. We've just seen, we all know regular season is one thing, playoffs is another, and it's not a knock on the Dolphins. It's not. I'm not even saying it's fair to even look at them like that because we don't know. But I think they're an interesting team. I think the way they're playing and the way they're getting these wins, I mean, I really like the Bills, but I almost think I like the Dolphins more right now. And I know that to some people that just may sound fucking crazy because all they think that there's no way the Bills are losing, but I don't know, man. I don't know. So it's interesting. I'm really falling in love with these Dolphins. The way they're playing great. Next we got the Bears Jets. This one was the battle of the backups. No Fields. And they kind of, they didn't tell nobody till the last second. They were they wanted to keep a hush hush under the secret. That old move. Oh, we don't know. It's a game time decision, and then they don't really make the decision until they fucking send the guy out, just so teams don't get to prepare, I guess. But I don't know if that was the case, but nonetheless, we had Simeon versus Mike White, and I just want to say a fucking round of applause for Mike White. Coming in, this is why this is impressive. I'll say a stat line here, and then I'll tell you why this is impressive. 22 for 28, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Lights the fucking stat sheets up. What's more impressive to me is this wasn't like a plan. This wasn't something where they had him he was preparing all offseason. Like, he was preparing to play, right? This was something that happened with Zach Wilson, the way he handled the loss and post game and all that. And so he was benched. And then like, all right, man, you're up. It was, I mean, to be ready like that. And I know some people say it's the Bears defense, whatever, and they're not even a good defense right anymore right now. Blah blah blah. Shut up. This is the NFL. You're not going to tell me just because it's a run-of-the-mill, not a very good defense. It's still the fucking NFL. And this dude, again, had not been preparing to just go in, have he'd had a week of practice or whatever, but on a dime, just to be able to go in and play like that, that's impressive, dog. No matter what the circumstances are, that's impressive. So shout out to him. Because he fucking played lights out. And, he's finding Garrett Wilson. He's looking great. Garrett Wilson, 2 touchdowns, 95 yards on 5 receptions. He's playing great. The Jets. They're looking good, man. They're looking fucking good in this game with Mike White. That's it's going to be interesting now. Does Zach Wilson get his job back, dude? I mean, after how do you go away from that after that performance? Now things are going to be interesting in New York, and it's, and now you're in New York, big market, right? It's going to be a lot more media. It's going to be a big thing. It's going to be interesting to see how this is handled moving forward with the Jets. But, dude, credit Mike White, dude. He just fucking lights out, man. I mean, that's impressive, especially in this league. And what I thought was going to be the difference, maybe not this. I thought this game would be closer, a lot low scoring, but couldn't expected what we got. To me, the difference was always going to be the defense. There's no knock on Simeon because he's a solid backup, okay? But the defense of the Jets was the difference maker. They were been playing a lot better, obviously. They've been very impressive. The play out of Quinnen Williams has been outstanding. C.J. Mosley, the leader of the team, the captain, gets a pick and he just as productive with tackles. He's all over the place. And Sauce Gardner now, he's the big name now at corner, big time now. But I did see a play on Chase Claypool made a nice play on Sauce Gardner. Really sauced Sauce Gardner. He made a great play against him and kind of schooled him, but he's been playing great though. But they're just really solid on defense, and you expect that from Robert Saleh, of course, coming from the 49ers, defensive coordinator, and what he did there. You expected that from this team. This defense is pretty impressive. Even against the Bears, it's still impressive because they've been doing it, not just the Bears. They've been doing it for a little bit now, putting these games together. We'll go ahead and talk about this one because, man, these other games. This was one of the other stinker games. Panthers, Broncos. I'll just say this game stunk, right? Donald comes in. Any game with the Broncos, man, their offense is atrocious. I mean, it is, and it's foul. It's easy to beat up on them right now because of the way they're playing. But oh my goodness, man, they don't know what they're doing on offense. They just can't. Russell Wilson cannot get clicking with. I did not expect it to be this bad. I talked about how this might be a problem, and what I thought was going to be a problem with the Broncos was them trying to get it going, right? Now I did not expect it to be this bad. I mean, this is oof. I mean, it's hard to watch. It really is, and as many primetime games they've been on, because I think they thought they were going to be good this year. It's going to be fun matchups again in that division against big name quarterbacks, and has not been that. It's been the total opposite of that. And credit Carolina, they got the win. And they got the win with Darnold, and now I don't know. You're not gonna see Baker anymore, unless something happens to Darnold. He's gonna have to go earn his journey is about to. It's gonna get a lot harder, and he's gonna have to really find a way to dig deep. He's gonna have to use this as motivation now, because he's not gonna. I don't think he'll have much chances. I don't think he'll have many more chances after Carolina. Baker Mayfield, that is. Just because his size alone, teams have now seen the tape he has, but he has looked good in time, but lately, with Carolina, and it didn't look good, so that's just bad. More, it's what have you done for me lately, kind of league. So that most recent tape that it's going to be out on him when it comes time for teams to look at him isn't going to be pretty. So just on that, you're not going to have many more chances. Truthfully, if he doesn't go somewhere and put something together, it's going to be a uphill battle. But he's got to take this now and use it as motivation. But the run game looked good for Carolina. Broncos could not stop Foreman or Hubbard for that matter. And Darnold managed. He got it done. Did what he needed to do. Hooked up with DJ Moore as much as possible, and got the thing done. And for Carolina, they have a chance, so it's meaningful. It's crazy. At 4-8, they still got a shot, right? Broncos at 3-8, they're done. Their season's over. It's total two different stories on that one. Now we got some interesting ones here. Chargers and Cardinals. Kyler Murray back, right? He's his first game back. He as the Cardinals do, he looked a little off. But had them in this game, winnable game, and Herbert at the end goes down, gets it done. They go for 2. And they get the walk-off just like the Jags did to the Ravens. The Chargers pulled it out on the Cardinals, and the Chargers really needed this one. They really had to have this one, sitting at 5-5 coming in, to maintain any positioning in the playoff race. They had to have this one, and the Cardinals, you could say the same thing. They needed to have this one too. It's a must-win. That's why these games I feel like are so much closer now. It really matters, man. It all fucking matters. So, Chargers get a 1-point victory. Herbert played great. 274, 3 touchdowns, no picks. No run game really for the Chargers, though. That was a tough point for them. Didn't really choose to run too much either, though. Only 13 total carries. Which, you don't want to be one-dimensional. You can't be one-dimensional in this league. It just makes your life harder. And it's almost impossible to win that way. But Murray looked good. Other than that, that pick was just a really athletic play by Derwin James, I believe, and scooped that one up. And Murray, he came back. They had James Conner going for 120 yards. He ran for 56 and touchdowns. He had a total of 3 touchdowns. So did Herbert, but he just threw all of his. And the Cardinals were right there, but the Chargers find a way to win. And they're still missing their weapon, Mike Williams. Life without Mike Williams. They're trying to get it going. And the Chargers, like I said, had to have this one. They find a way to get it done. And the galls to go for it, man, on 4th down. Whew. Gotta love it. We want the win. We want the ball. We're gonna score. But the Cardinals beat themselves, though. First, the first drive they had that fumble, an interception. To still be in it like that. But, going for 2, you gotta love it. You gotta love teams doing it. They get the win. Credit to the Chargers. Had to have it. The other good game. Another good game. The Cardiac Kids. Back-to-back weeks. The Raiders find a way to win, and this is what I thought they would look like. This is what they were supposed to look like. This is how they're supposed to play, winning games, putting up points. Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller. They're missing two of them guys. It's just Adams right now, but which makes it harder. But Josh Jacobs, have yourself a day, young man. Have yourself a fucking day. God damn, this fucking dude went off. Grown man business on the field right now. 33 carries, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then he pitched in with 74 yards receiving. So a 300-yard total yard game for Josh Jacobs. He also had the walk-off overtime, 87-yard carry, send him packing, get him out. Seattle, this was a fucking fun game to go back and watch. They just, both teams throwing, it was like a prize fight, man. They're just throwing their fucking haymakers at each other. 40-34, Raiders get it done in overtime. Geno played great. Yeah, they didn't have much of a running game, but Geno was he looked great. The defense for Seattle, the 2 picks by Diggs. He's just kind of the right man in position. Carr had some unfortunate picks that really, shouldn't have been. But the Raiders they're finding ways to win back-to-back weeks. They're OT wins. At 4-7, I don't know. It's probably too late for them, right? They have to win out and get help. But you never know. But man, this is what I thought the Raiders were going to be. This is why I had so much high hopes for them. High regards for them. I thought on paper that, with Max Crosby on defense, doing his thing, getting 1.5 sacks. Where's he at in sacks? 10.5 sacks. He's 4th in the league. Just the way this kid's been playing. I just, that defense, it needed a little bit of work. I thought was going to be a little bit of a problem, but I thought, man, that offense is so damn good. They're going to be they're going to be in some games. They're going to be doing really. I expected this all the time, and it's just almost too little too late now for the Raiders to get it going. They're going to have to really win out. But man, the Seahawks, I just didn't think they'd even have this shot. I didn't think they had this in them. I didn't think Geno had this in him, man. He's playing great. He really is. He's fighting above his weight class, if you will. And just tough one. Couldn't put it together. Defense couldn't stop nobody. And, it got so bad that the fucking Seahawks were sending out the 12th man. Literally, a 12th man. They had a guy run out on the field at one point. What was that fucking play, dude? We're going to have to pull this up now. It was absurd. This man literally just runs on the field at the middle of the play and then proceeds to start blocking somebody. It was hilarious. Well, let's pull this up here. This shit was wild, dude. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
They let you know they're here.
Okay. We're going to pull this bad boy up. Pull this up here. Let's see. Well, no. So I'm going to pull this up. Okay. Anyways. Fuck it. Technical difficulties. But no, okay. Anyways, this dude literally the ball's picked off by Diggs, right? It's a pass by Carr that's out of reach. It's behind Devontae Adams. Carr was trying to get Devontae Adams. Out of nowhere, this guy comes from the sideline, runs on the field, then proceeds to start blocking. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm sure a lot of you probably know about it. People know about it. It was everywhere. But literally, the Seahawks taking the 12th man too seriously. Kind of ridiculous. But no, They were there though. They're right there. This was a fun game. Raiders pulling it off. And you kind of seen Carr at the end. He just was like, "Oh my gosh, like thank you. This is what we've been trying to do this whole time, man." So for him to get it together like that, interesting. But fun games. This is why I think this weekend, and we're not even done yet. The Chiefs getting it done with the Rams. They're cruising. They're looking good. Bryce Perkins filling in for Matthew Stafford. They say they're saying they're not shutting him down for the year, but he comes in and it's a tough spot for the kid. Gets Mahomes and the Chiefs. Yeah, that's good fucking luck. David versus Goliath. Come on. I thought he played decent though. The kid come in and he played decent. Mobile. Had 44 yards rushing. Trying to make some plays. Came away with 2 picks though. But can't knock the kid. Tough spot to be in, man. Coming in there like that and against that team. But I think this was more of the Chiefs just looking good against this defense. And Mahomes had the 1 turnover in the red zone. Left points on the board there. But offensively, they look good. Kelsey just keeps on fucking scoring touchdowns, man. He leads the league. Where is he at now? What's that? 12 touchdowns. He's number 1 in the league in receiving touchdowns. He's just been there all year for Mahomes as usual. But these other guys, what's impressive is the other guys stepping up. Juju, Marquez Valdez, Scantling, Justin Watson comes in. When he comes in, he makes catches. Sky Moore. It's a little bit of everybody's getting it right now, and everyone's playing their part and doing their job and doing what they need to do. So the Chiefs look good. They look tough, and they're going to be. I thought they might take a step back this year. I thought everyone was kind of gearing up towards them. I thought these guys would get up to their competition, and the Chiefs just proved to everybody, we are who we are, man, and that's why it's so impressive. If you really think about it, that's why that makes that so impressive for them to sustain what they're doing, how they're doing it at such a high level, and all these other teams you think are coming up, and you look at the Broncos, you thought, oh yeah, here we go, the Broncos about to be something. They're about to take out the Chiefs. Nope, didn't happen. All right, the Raiders, they got all these pieces. Didn't happen. It's not that fucking easy. And the way the Chiefs are doing it at 9-2, it's impressive, man. It's scary, too, for these other teams. 49ers Saints. Low-scoring defensive battle, but 49ers pull away and get the win. It's just so many weapons on the Niners. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough in the playoffs. This is that defense. I love their defense. Nick Bosa. Greenlaw is a great coverage linebacker. Fred Warner is could be one of the best linebackers, and he's easily top 3, top 5, probably. He's a beast. Hufanga now, the resurrection of Troy Polamalu, his protege. He's out there. He's all over the field. He's amazing. He had that fumble. That fumble that he forced on Kamara at the goal line. I mean, that was just fucking. That dude's he is fun to watch. That kid is so fun to watch. I mean, it's like watching Troy Polamalu all over again. It really is. I mean, he's getting to where he's almost timing the snaps and shit and flying around and he's a big hitter. He's all over the field. I mean, he's just it's fun to watch. It really is. And maybe they're just all over the place. Their defense is scary. And it just makes it so much easier for them. They could pitch a shutout against the Saints. And that's not easy to do to really anybody in this league. But the way they did it, and a little bit sloppy, you just couldn't get it going on offense. The 49ers were in so many third and 8s, third and 10s. I mean, kept putting themselves back, it seemed like, and making drives harder than need to be on offense. But if they can get going a little more on offense, they're going to need more production on that offense. I think, just slightly. They're going to need a little bit more. I mean, you don't want to bank on that defense that heavy all the time. You're not getting shutouts against everybody. But, man, they look good. They look good. And they're starting to get it going at the right time. I mean, watch out. I think they're going to get that division just because of that defense, man. They have the edge on Seattle, in my eye. To me, they have the edge on Seattle just because of the defense. Look what the Raiders did, to their defense. I don't think that their Seahawks offense will be able to do that against the 49ers defense. They're not putting up 34. No way. Packers Eagles. This one has this one was interesting for a lot of reasons, and it's gonna be talked about for a lot of reasons. One reason in particular, though, Aaron Rodgers' play, and then being injured, taken out of the game, unable to finish. Insert Jordan Love, and he looked good, man. He looked good. He connected with Christian Watson, and this kid's finally getting it going, man. I was really thought he had a shot to be one of the that rookie of the year. If he would have been, avoided injury, but he's 22 receptions, 353 yards, 6 touchdowns. When he gets the ball, he makes it happen, dude. He makes it happen. He's electric on the field, and Jordan Love found him, and it was close. Green Bay had a shot at the end, to come back, and their defense couldn't hold. Gave up a field goal to the Eagles, which essentially put it out of reach for him. But the big talk is going to be, what are we doing with Rodgers? Do you let him go? Do you let him finish the season out, or do you stop him? And I thought about it, and the way I see it is, I kept hearing, oh, well, they got him for 3 years, $150 million deal. If he wants to play, he's going to play. Bullshit. It's a fucking business. And to me, they're saying he earned the right to do whatever. You earn the right. You earn the right to do that, but in the sense of what, though? You got to look at it in a business. They got to figure out what they have in the future, and when they get that chance, they want to take it because they got a guy that they think they have. But they got to see him in meaningful games. And Jordan Love, the way he looked last night, boy, he looked ready. He looked like he's improved. But for me, the Packers have to evaluate their talent if the season's lost. So if you want to give Rodgers another game or two, sure, go fine. But after that, I'm pulling him, and if we're not in it, I'm pulling him, and I'm putting in Jordan Love. What's the point of, just so Rodgers can feel good about himself, and doesn't cause any problems, blah blah blah. Who cares? Outside noise, fuck him. I would have a talk with him and go, look, man, this is how I see it. After you're gone, we're not going to sit here and be, I'm not, this season didn't go the way we wanted it to go. We're 4-8. It's looking rough. It is what it is. If here in a couple weeks, it's more the same, I'm pulling the plug. No knock on you. It's a shit season. It is what it is. It's the NFL. Shit, it's gonna happen. But it is what it is. You chalk it up to a fucking L, and you keep it moving. And I would with that plan in place, I'd execute it. Boom. Jordan Love, give him the reps. Give the fucking kid the reps. It's not gonna hurt. And if Rodgers can't handle that, and that's too much for him, then all right, man, whatever. At some point you gotta be like, I'm done with the drama and the headaches and the bullshit. It's not worth it. After that fucking season, it ain't fucking worth it, dude. But I don't think that he's got to be realistic, right? It's just a bad fucking season. It is what it is. You're throwing more picks than normal. You don't have fucking pieces yet. You don't look like you. You're not playing like. Does he need a Snickers bar? Is this not him when he's fucking hungry or what? I don't know. And I'm not trying to sit here and shit on fucking Aaron Rodgers, but you got to be realistic. In a couple weeks, if this shit doesn't get any better, I want to see what I have in Jordan Love. I got something back there. I don't want to sit here and act like we still have a fucking shot and ride it out to the fucking end. No. Let's get Love in there. Let's see what he's fucking got, and just so we know. That's just me personally, though. I know a lot of people, they're going to be like, yeah, whatever. And then you're going to have the goons on the other side saying, just put Love in. He's great. Just go with him. Fuck Rodgers. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it's a fucking business. And if we're out of it, we're out of it. Cool. I don't need to die on my fucking shield with the pride and, we got to keep Rodgers in. Fuck that, dude. What do we have in Jordan Love? Oh, all right, he's serviceable. Cool. You'll get your shot when he's fucking done. And simple as fucking that. But that's just one piece of it. That's the one everyone's going to be talking about. But, the Eagles, again, find ways to win. 10-1, keeping it going. They look good. 157 yards on the ground from Hurts. 143 from Sanders on the ground, but Hurts, 153 in the air, 2 touchdowns. Lights out, man. How's he not MVP? How's he not? Seriously, how's Hurts not MVP? Nothing. It's not like his stats are crazy, but 2,500 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, only 3 picks. He's got his team to 10-1. I'd like to be curious. What are his rushing stats? Let's see. And then he also is pitching in 600 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground. 597, 8 touchdowns. So 25 total touchdowns and 3,000 total yards. That's your MVP. That's to me, that's MVP right now. I know the race is between. Who would you say? Who are the MVPs? Okay, I would say Jalen Hurts is one. Patty Mahomes. I haven't put thought in the MVP race. This is just right now, so don't fucking judge. Don't judge me here. Maybe Josh Allen, right? No, excuse me. What? I'm disrespecting. Hold on. Tua. I'd say this between. Okay, now I don't. I would say this between Tua and Jalen Hurts right now. As those are the 2 guys right now that I'm putting in the top spots for MVP race. It's between Tua and Jalen Hurts. Both guys been balling out, putting on a fucking show with their respective fucking teams, doing it multiple ways. Right now, and if I had to choose, I would give it to Jalen Hurts just because of how they've been doing it. They're fucking 10-1. He's got his team rolling. He's playing great. I know Tua missed time, but I give it to Jalen Hurts. Slight edge to Jalen Hurts right now over Tua, but it's neck and neck between those 2 for me. And I don't know if I would add anybody else right now off the top of my head. I'm trying to think. Patty Mahomes. If you wanted to go a 3-headed race, I would say throw Patty Mahomes in there. Realistically, those are the 3 guys right now. I heard Joe Burrow. Nah, he's not playing like the other 3. It's not even close. So I'm not putting Joe Burrow in there. Tua, Jalen Hurts, Patty Mahomes, 3 MVPs right there. That's the race currently. And then Monday night, wrap it up here, guys. Monday night, Steelers find a way to win against Matty Ice and the Colts. Couldn't get it done. Late theatrics at the end. Really where it picked up. I kind of picked up there at the end. It got interesting. The Colts trying to get a win. Trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And I thought Matty Ice had some magic left in him. He was throwing some great throws at the end. Their offense was, it was rough. It was rough for the Colts per usual. They just find a way. They just, I don't know what it is, man. Fumbles. They beat themselves so bad, dude. They're their own worst enemy in Indianapolis. The offensive line is an issue. Keeping Matt Ryan up has been an issue for them. The Jonathan Taylor's been the one constant, and I think for the Colts, they just the magic wasn't there for him. That last play. Well, what's interesting to me was Matt Ryan's scramble. Had he just kept going straight, he like gets up he gets like 5 yards away, then he goes like left, and then he goes back right, and then he dives. Dude, just fucking run straight, get the first down. That's where that was kind of frustrating for me. I was like, just fucking get the first down and go. But then that fourth down play, they tried to get the wheel route. Some people wanted passing interference. I think it was a good no. I thought it was a good no call. To me, I thought they were going to get the penalty on the helmet to helmet. I thought Minka came in and just, is that not a defenseless player? I mean, he's going for the ball. He can't do it. He's not moving. He can't go nowhere. It's as if someone was just holding him there to get fucking annihilated. That's where you have to trust the defender to make a smart play on defensively and put your head in the right spot. But they said no. They said it was a good no call. But it was close. I thought if you're going to get a penalty, I thought that's where you might get it. I didn't see. I thought two guys going for the ball. It was an underthrown ball, and that was one of those where a lot of times you would get those underthrown balls, receivers going back to it, and it fucks up the defender. But to me, he was kind of over the back of him, kind of getting in. I thought it was a good no call. Tough loss for the Colts, But again, I don't have too much sympathy for them just because they beat themselves in the turnover. They tend to beat themselves. So if they was just a tough break, yeah, it is what it is. But I want to shout out Michael Pittman. He made some fucking great catches. It was mostly just him and Jelani Woods. Him and Jelani Woods were Matty Ice's only targets, really. They had 8 and 7. The next guys had 2. It was Mo Alley Cox and Paris Campbell Taylor. I would like to have seen Alec Pearson involved more. I thought he's been a pretty good piece for them this year, the rookie. But they really couldn't get him involved. But credit to the Steelers. They played great. Mike Tomlin and Kenny Pickett gets his first Monday night victory. And I thought he made some really great throws, Kenny Pickett. There were some throws that he was zipping in there and putting in tough spots. I thought he did a great job with his accuracy and just really getting that ball in. There was some stuff he needs to work on, getting rid of the ball, trying to, avoiding sacks, not hanging on to the ball too much and taking sacks, and putting backing yourself up, making it harder. It's hard enough as it is, as I'm sure as a rookie quarterback to come in and fucking adjust to the speed and learn all this and these new words that mean this and that, and I gotta figure out what he's doing. You gotta know what every single person on the field is doing to be a quarterback. You have to know everybody's job. That includes defense. You gotta know all of their jobs because you gotta know how to beat them. You gotta know how to everywhere else it's pretty much a one-on-one matchup, right? That receiver in that corner, one-on-one matchup. He's just got to beat that corner. I just got to know what he's going to do and how to beat him. Offensive lineman, I just got to know how to beat that defensive guy. I got to just know how to beat that end, that nose tackle. Running back, I just got to know how to beat that linebacker so I can get to the second level. But quarterback, they got to know everything. They got to know what the defender's going to do so they can react. How do I get that safety, look off that safety? How do I get that corner? What's he going to do? How do I know when to throw that back shoulder throw? How do I know when that corner's blitzing and that linebacker's blitzing? And it's a chess match between you and that middle linebacker. At the same time, you got to be able to read the disguised defenses. It's a fucking nightmare, man. To come in there on the biggest stage, Monday Night Football. Not biggest stage, but you know what I mean. Primetime Monday Night Football. Coming in against a team that needs to have a victory. They've been playing, pretty good football up to this point for Jeff Saturday. And, credit, the kid looked good. He just got to shore up the other few minor details. And I think this kid's got a good future, Kenny Pickett. I really do. They just got to get him weapons now. They got to get him pieces. I like Frymouth. I like George Pickens. I wasn't too sure about George Pickens, but he's kind of growing on me. Not going to lie. He makes a lot of great catches, a lot of tough catches, does a lot of the dirty work for him. He doesn't drop balls. Frustrating for Deontay Johnson. He has his frustrations, no touchdowns. I get it, but it's going to be a lot. It's just different. It's growing pains. If they can, they need to get him a number one guy and get him going. I love Najee Harris. And Benny Snell, he came in and did his thing. He was impressive. The Steelers find a way to get a win on Monday night, though, as they usually do. They're pretty damn good on Monday night. I know they have a pretty crazy record. What is their Monday night record? Is there an any more sure thing than the Steelers winning on Monday night? Let's see what their record is. Under Tomlin. 18-3. That is fucking nuts. 18-3. Whew. That's a wild stat. Under Mike Tomlin, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 18-3 on Monday Night Football, and they continue that with a rookie quarterback first time Monday Night Football against a wily veteran, Matt Ryan. Impressive. Tip of the cap to him. It's good football. Let's go ahead and take a look here. We're gonna, as we usually do, take a look to Thursday now. We'll get the Thursday game, and then we'll be back to recap that game, and then we'll have the rest of our picks. So Thursday, we get the Raiders and the Rams. And this one's going to be interesting, right? We're going to have to see if Stafford's going to be a go or not. That would make all the difference, I believe. The last thing that's been updated is 2 hours ago, so it's questionable. Questionable to play, because they did say they were not going to shut him down for the year. He just was going to be out there. I think this one, the way the Raiders been playing, how do you not go with the Raiders, man? I expect, even with Stafford, the Rams haven't looked good. They're 3-8. The Raiders are 4-7. Both these teams didn't expect to be in this position. Especially, the Super Bowl champs now. They're in a Super Bowl slump. Hangover year, if you will. I expect, even the Rams got a good defense, though. Short week. The Raiders, that could be, said about the Raiders, though, playing the 2 overtime games. Does that play a factor? Does that catch up with them now playing so much football, extra football, and a short week? There's a good chance that, the Rams could maybe get this one just for that factor. But I'm going to take the Raiders. The Raiders! I like the Raiders, the cardiac kids, if you will. That I like the way they've been playing recently. This is what I wanted to see from them. What I expected to see from them. But nonetheless, maybe too little, too late. But I like the Rams here, I like the Raiders here in this game. Watch Nick Chubb. Watch Josh Jacobs. See what kind of game he has. That's going to be, if he gets going, it's going to be a long day for the Rams. But, as always, everybody, love y'all. Peace.